What
So tell me, what's the? How'd you come up with the name Gears in the Rear?
So, real talk. I said, hey man, I got a homeboy. I got a lot of partners who they love. They know how to burn rubber. They know how to make them things swing. I grew up learning a little bit with it from my family member, my guy Vern. Shout out to my man, aka Anthony Simmons, who's out there putting them cutlasses together like no other. So I learned from my guy a little bit when we were younger, and I always wanted to make the ass swing, right? How we get that ass to wiggle, right? I call it wiggle wiggle. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I said, look, let me do some research. All these other guys around still in our culture, doing what we do, we putting flavor on it. There's no black podcast or check this out. Name me a black fabrication show that's doing what we doing to these cars and we getting credit for it.
I'll tell you like this, man. I was just thinking about this like not too long ago, and because I can name off as many YouTube channels I watch, and I'm addicted to them. And I'm always like, this is cool, but you go and you look at the stuff that I'm into, and I'm like, where are we at? Like, why? I mean, you can't tell me that there's not, some, No.
Here at Gears in the Rear. Let me make sure I get this right for my little young fella, man, my padre, my comrade, my guy. We don't sugarcoat shit on Gears in the Rear.
Right.
And what we gonna do is make sure that they know that we here and they feel us.
Yep.
There is no black show. They act like only white guys have invented car stuff, and the only people we can listen to and follow is white guys.
Right.
Me and you both are addicted to car shows.
Yes.
We're addicted to car stuff.
100%.
It sounds like you did what I did. You sat back, and we can name them off. We can go down the list. There's a whole channel, if you have Comcast or cable, called 7-Eleven, and it's car shows all day long. Shout out to girls Cars and Garage, because they were the first women show that they put on there. But once again, those are two white ladies wrenching. They broke the mold. They broke the barrier. But again, where are we?
And nothing wrong with those shows, because if they're doing, good things, that's cool. But you can't tell me, we don't have anybody that's a cold fabricator can just be out here, you know what I mean? Showing tricks of the trade and the stuff that we watch, man, it's gotta be out there. So
yeah, man. It's not that it's gotta be out there. We're out there. Mm-hmm. Shout out to my essays, man. Shout out to all my essays, my vatos, my people that's been holding it down in LA for years. For years. How come we ain't had a lowrider show yet? How come there's not been them guys talking about lowriders and what they're doing? Do you know a lot of the suspension work and the things that come from this new trickery and suspension came from where? Yeah. Give credit to where credit is due. Yeah. 100%. I'm telling y'all, man, you on Gears in the Rear. We live on my man's YouTube page. We doing our shit. We talking our shit. We here. We rocking. Again, they will not respect us until we put respect on our own name.
Right.
You just mentioned it. Fabricators, right? Think about my guy at Texas Metal, what he's doing with the big trucks. Yeah. If you ever go back to Pimp My Ride, shout out to the show, you know why those guys were mad? Not just mad at Exhibit. Look at what some of those guys that were doing. Look at their nationality and what they were figuring out. They were figuring out the craft of how to change different structures and shit on a car. And who was getting credit for it? The white manager. The white manager who's on there doing this thing. Right? Come on, man. Call it what it is. Yeah. I got a partner that I'm begging to get up here. My homeboy, he's a Mustang jerk. I call him a Mustang jerk because he has 35 Mustangs and he just don't know what to do. He loves speed. He knows what he's doing. I'm trying to get him up here because he knows some stuff about Mustangs that they don't even tell you. Right. He got some tricks of the trade. Like, I seen my guy take a 4-lug Mustang and switch it out to 5-lug so he can put the better traction and bigger wheels on it. Right. Yeah. We're modifying cars at all-time high. Yeah. And they're stealing our ideas. Yeah. Yeah,
Talk
to me, young king. Talk to me, young king. Yeah, I see your wheel spinning. It's on your mind, man. Talk to me, young king. Talk to me.
I feel the same, man. Like I said, I watch a lot of different YouTube channels, and I'm like, where are the young guys and where are the black people, man? I mean, you cannot tell me that not doing the same things, man. I mean, it just gotta be out there, man. And I don't really know how, I don't really know how to go about that, but it's gotta happen.
You just found out how. You right here with your boy.
There you go.
We're about to make it happen.
Yeah.
You right here
getting
with
it
your
out
boy.
there for everybody to see,
we
man.
Getting it out there for our guys.
Yeah.
Of course, we always late to the party. We always got to make sure it work before we invest in shit.
Yeah, that's true.
I always try to tell my people, man, that it ain't no knock, but white folks don't go where shit don't work.
Right.
Right? We know that. We know that's in that's DNA. They love to take over. They love to be the ones to say they're the first.
Right.
White people go where shit don't work. So what we got to do is continue to make our shit work. That's why I was giving Dunkmaster so much of his credit and his props. He might have not been the first to do it, but he was the one that showed them how he showed them how to market it.
Man.
He showed them how to do certain things. He showed them that, yes, you can take this certain motor that GM did and put these 2 turbos on here a certain way. Yes, he did show them how we can have a traction system without their traction system so we can get going. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so with him doing that, he just blew up the game. You feel me?
Right.
He blew up the game. You feel me? Well, again, man, we live and in charge, man. This is Gears in the Rear. I have my boy here, man. We in GMP Podcast. We got Thorn City Syndicate Management. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give my man one more chance to give a shout out, introduce himself before we go ahead and start taking care of business.
Yeah, man. Well, my name's Kameran.
Kameran, y'all heard him.
I was actually born in Portland, but raised in the Chicagoland area.
Okay, Chi-Town.
So Elgin, Illinois. That's where I was raised.
Okay.
And I went to high school out there.
Okay.
And then we moved out here probably like 7-8 years ago.
Okay.
And I went back and forth a couple times because the change was real weird for me.
Yeah. You went from seeing predominantly black to predominantly white. I feel you.
It was weird.
I understand you.
And man, and then just a lot changed when I came back.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Well, man, like you said, it's Kameran here, man. Let me go ahead and do what we got to do before we get this show started. Let's get it cracking. Y'all know what it is. It's your boy, Mel P. Check it out. It's the podcast, Gears in the Rear. This is where we're going to touch on the muscle cars. We're going to touch on the exotic cars. We're going to touch on the foreign cars. We're going to touch on the true expensive cars and how to make your car look expensive on a dime. Hey, now we back. We got my man Cam on the show. Today's show is called Big Truck Driving. Trucker. He's got some real gears in the rear. You know what I'm saying? I'm normally used to working with 4. Some of my guys got 6-speed. Tell them what you working with.
18 speed, man.
Y'all heard that 18 speed, man. Come on now. How'd you get into cars, man? Talk to me.
Cars, high school, we had a shop class, automotive class. And honestly, man, just friends that were in the class with me had older brothers already into it. And I was hanging out with them after school, and we was going to the races and the car meets and the, Sonic and meeting at Taco Bell and all that kind of stuff. So every weekend, you saw, stuff where you wanted to be. You saw the direction you wanted to go. So
Okay. So since you got into that, you said a couple of friends and everything. Have you purchased an old school or car yourself that you wanted to get involved with?
Right now I just bought a '93 Fox body Mustang.
Here we go, Fox body. Got give me that Aquafina off that table for me real quick. He said Fox body. So here, what I tell y'all that gives in the rear, man. I'm bringing you people that's relevant, man. So we had a guy up here who had Fox body and Chevelle.
Okay.
But you went with the Fox body.
Yeah.
So you're Ford guy?
No. So it's gonna eventually have an LS motor in it.
Oh, wait.
So I'm
Oh man, hold on, man. You about to take a Fox body and put an LS motor in? Are you committing a cardinal sin?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's so common.
He's committing a cardinal sin, man. Yeah, I had to do. I did a whole bunch of the podcast. I don't know. I don't know what to do. He committed a cardinal sin. You guys, he committed a cardinal sin. He's gonna go explain yourself. Let me be quiet. Explain yourself.
So I'm drag race. Like I love drag racing. Like I'm not, I don't know why, but everything I do when it comes to building a car is always like, how can we get it to go faster? You know what I mean? And everything I research would be faster. You know what I mean? And what it takes. So like, I have another car that I learned how to tune with. So like I've got it on fuel tech management.
Okay.
So I learned how to tune with that thing. But anyways, like I'm always been into drag racing, man. So this car would be a purpose-built race car.
Purpose-built race car, Need for Speed.
Yeah.
Again, y'all heard all those funny sounds and everything because I was so confused because my audience, I was discombobulated. That's my guy, man. I was so confused because some would say you can't find nothing in the Ford motor department that can give you your Need for Speed.
It's got a board out. It was a 302, but it's a 306. Fully built. And it was it's on nitrous.
Okay.
And it's gone like low 10s, like 10-20 in the quarter mile. But, man, it's carbureted and, Ford stuff's expensive. And, if you want to go fast, Chevy is very, it's a lot easier on the pocket. And, it just, man, the LS motor's a dime a dozen, man. If you hurt that motor, just go get another one.
Okay. So, what I mean? So some may say, I'm gonna play a little advocate.
Yeah.
Some may say you can't afford the good Ford stuff, so you want to make Chevy sound cheap.
Hey.
But I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah,
That's another podcast. That's another podcast. I'm gonna leave that alone. Man. I'm gonna leave that alone before my Chevy guys, before my GM guys come after you.
Right.
I got some GM guys that'll knock on your door and be like, "Man, what are you talking about?" Right. Tell me a little bit about this truck, though. You got 18 gears in the rear. Talk to me.
Yeah, man. I mean, where do you want to start with the truck? I mean, you want to know about the most recent truck? Or?
Most recent truck, let me know a little bit about, how was it getting your CDL?
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about trucks, man. I have no idea about trucks.
Yeah. So the race car stuff is expensive, and you can't really work, a low paying job and build a race car. It's just not going to happen.
Shit just don't fit.
It's not going to happen. So, I had buddies that had gotten into the trucking field and I was like, so how do I do this? So a buddy of mine was like, look, man, I went to school for 4 weeks. I saved up my money and got my CDL, and I had a job the week after. So that's exactly what I did. I was working at a oil change place.
Gotcha.
And they weren't paying me enough. And I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna sit here and just cry about it. Let's go make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
So I went to school for 4 weeks, got my CDL, and had a job the week after school.
Talk to me.
And a lot of people think, oh, let's go to like a big company, and I'm gonna have benefits, this and that. I wasn't really looking for that. I was looking for a small owner operator that had a couple trucks that just needed a driver, so I could learn the old school way, man.
Talk to me. So again, man, I told y'all on Gears in the Rear. You heard it from Truck Doug. You've heard it from a lot of guests here, man. You got to pay for what you want, and you got to go work for what you want. We got a youngster up here that's telling y'all right now he invested in himself. He did the 4 weeks, got his CDL. Now he's on the road. He's learning. He's getting that grassroots training, stuff that they don't really give you at school, man, where you're making a really good penny coming right. I mean, you come right out of high school and spend 4 or 5 weeks learning how to drive a truck. Now you're making anywhere between $22 to $28 an hour driving a truck, man, and you getting the bag. Mm-hmm. You getting a nice bag at 19, 20 years old, man.
I was 20 years old in school.
Talk to me.
And you got to be 21 years old to go out of the state that you reside in.
Right on.
So, while I was in school, I turned 21, and man, I was making the most money I had ever made in my life. And I was only making, when I first got into trucking, man, I was only making like 16, 17 bucks an hour because you ain't got no experience.
Right.
So they're not gonna, you know what I mean? They're not. But I don't know about nowadays. Now they might hook you up with 20 to start with or 20. Whatever, you know.
So I did my research before you came up here.
Okay.
20 to start because of the pandemic and what's been going on.
Yeah. You'll find that. But back then I wasn't really looking for that. I was just looking for, look, you know, where do I want to start at? What do I think is going to have?
Again, there's no knock to it, but here's the thing. Check this out. You probably staying at home and not having too many more bills. You're still 20 to 21. You're not going out of town just yet because you're not familiar with the roads and how to really drive. But you're bringing home a bag enough to where you're supporting your race habit. That's money, you guys. Yeah. That's bringing in money. But go ahead, finish telling me about the truck. What's going on?
Yeah. So like I said, I went and got my CDL, and I was more so just looking for to learn the game that I didn't have. You know, where people have second generation, third generation truck drivers. You know, I was looking for that old timer to just tell me, you know, how to really make things, how to do it the way they did it.
Right.
You know, so anyways, I got in working with him. He taught me, you know, how to shift without a clutch. You know, he taught me the old school way. He taught me how to back.
Okay.
He taught me how to, he taught me a lot of things that I use still today, man.
Talk to me.
And yeah, we just went through the repetitions for that week. Went in the truck with him, and man, I tell you what, I think I learned more with him than what I would have ever learned with a big company. You know,
it's that grassroots training, man.
Yeah,
it's that grassroots training. In case y'all didn't hear, I was talking about this with some of my future plans with Gears in the Rear. Hopefully someday I hope to get grants and stuff, and I want to get a warehouse where we're doing that. We're giving back, right, to our own, right? We're going to have, different stations, different areas where we can explore that and get that type of training and stuff that other cultures give their babies. You know what I'm saying? How is it being in that truck, though? Being in that truck, 16, you got 18 gears. I don't want to disrespect your gears.
Yeah, right.
You got 18.
Hey, I started with 9.
Okay.
I started with 9 with this guy.
Okay.
And, man, I'll tell you, when I first got in the truck, it was overwhelming because I felt like I wasn't supposed to be in this truck. It was a weird feeling. The first time I ever got in the truck, even in school, I was looking around. I'm like, man, I ain't supposed to be here. Like,
too many stereotypes.
I never had anybody tell me, yeah, you can do whatever you want,
Absolutely.
and that was like the first feeling like, man, all right, hey, if I could do this, I can really just do anything I put my mind to. So, and it worked out, and but yeah, man, learning it takes time. You can't just it don't happen in 1 week.
No,
it don't happen in 2 weeks.
Okay,
I'm still learning to this day, and I'm 5 years in, and every day I'm like, man, how can I do this better? How could I do that better?
So is it the shifting? Is it I know we got to adjust the mirrors. We're talking about width and size. Where we at?
I think that's my biggest.
Talk to me when you're on the freeway.
Right now, I think that's my biggest thing that I'm learning more and more. I have a longer truck, longer trailer than I ever had, and I'm delivering to a lot of tight places. And if you check out on my YouTube channel, I show it a lot. And just knowing how long you are and where you can and cannot go,
Absolutely.
And being able to just take it on the chin and say, look, man, I can't make it in here. That's a big thing. Or, if you're not sure about something, pull off in the median before you make the turn into that place that because you might get stuck. You know what I mean?
So
it's a lot to it, man.
So don't let your pride get in the way, man.
Yeah, don't let your pride get in the way.
Don't be a tough guy with this big old truck,
yes.
And then you be stuck like Chuck and can't get him out, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I understand that,
yes,
man.
Sir.
And that's something that our viewers needed to hear, man. Yeah. Just how about making sure that you have enough wisdom and courage to know, man, this is going to get me caught up.
Yeah, it will.
So what's the you 5 years in?
5 years in.
What's the plan looking like? You plan to get your own trucks?
I already got my own truck.
Ooh, talk to me, young king.
I'll try to just make that I just kind of just get right to it. So, I was working with Will,
okay,
at MG, and I ended up getting a pretty good truck there.
Okay,
and a lot the way it worked out is man, I used to keep that truck super clean as a company driver, right?
Okay.
So every weekend I was, I spent my birthday even making sure the truck was clean for Monday. That's how dedicated I was to that. Just I don't even know why.
To that grind, man. But you're a car guy.
Yeah, and I think that's where it coincides, like, so, I'd keep that thing clean. The wheels were always polished. I'd throw tire shine on it when we had a dry week. That kind of stuff,
so
man.
You got an 18-wheeler out there gleaming.
Clean.
I
got pictures, man. Clean.
Oh, we going to get some pictures up, man.
So,
we going to have you out there on your stuff.
So when I was a company driver, and I think this is really important, when you're a company driver, taking pride in what you got, not bending up equipment, not, messing anything up. Because you hear a lot of guys like, man, it ain't my truck. I don't care.
See, they don't respect
the game. They don't take
game.
you nowhere.
They don't respect the game.
Yeah.
They don't respect the game.
So you'll hear a lot of guys, man, that ain't my truck. I don't care what happens to it, man. If I hurt this or hurt that, they'll just fix it and I'll put me in another. No, man, that's not how I treated it like it was mine. And I'll just tell you this. So like, I would ask guys on Instagram that I'd see up and down I-5. I'd be like, hey, man, certain questions about becoming owner operator, because I was itching at the time. I was like, man, I got to get my own truck. If I'm doing this for this guy, why can't I do it for me?
Right on.
So, man, I would ask questions for probably about a year. Okay. I was asking questions and wasn't really expecting anything out of it. But, man, I ended up talking to a guy named Jeff Barnes.
Okay.
And,
shout out Jeff, putting him on. Shout out Jeff.
He put me on like, it's funny, but he put me on like if I was marrying his daughter.
Talk to me.
Seriously.
Talk to me. Everybody needs so for you, what you didn't know is Will was like my big brother. Mm-hmm. And in the car game, he would show us that too. He would show us like, hey, man, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to, you know what I'm saying? If you always watch your work, don't let the mechanic just tell you what they want to tell you. Yeah. If they say something broke, make sure you go take it back and make sure it's really broke.
Opinion, yep.
Just make sure that they're not getting you, because you got to pay for what you want. Okay, I'm here. You talk to me.
So I said, you know what? And from the get go, I was never one to just chase the money. Like I was chasing opportunity.
Yes,
was the main thing. But anyways, the way he put me on is, I was telling him I was gonna go try to get into another company, and he's like, look, how would you like to become owner operator? And how would you like to run from here to LA every week? And that's what I wanted to do. So he's like. And this was a year talking to him, and I didn't even know he owned a company, man.
Wow.
I was just talking to him like a normal guy, like anybody. I didn't know.
So he saw something.
I didn't know anything.
He saw something in you.
Yeah, I didn't know anything. He'd see me all the time in my company truck, clean, and we holler at each other on CB, hey, where you going, whatever, And so, anyways, we did a lease purchase with my first truck. So what he did was he gave me two options, whatever truck I wanted. First truck, there was a Kenworth and there was a Peterbilt. Peterbilt was like stock. There was like nothing done to it. It was black with a green frame. It was stock. It had 50,000 miles on it. It was a 2019. And the guy was losing it to the bank. So I'm like, I want that one. We bought that one for $140,000. He bought it, basically signing paper because credit's good.
Credit's good.
No money down.
Credit's king.
And so I didn't make really any more money than what I made as a company driver for 10 months.
Hey, hold that thought for me right there. We're going to take a pause for the calls. We got to pay some bills, and we'll get right back to it.
Collisions, scratches, bodywork, general repairs, car accidents happen. Avoid the headaches with Gresham Collision Center. We'll work directly with your insurance company and get your car up and running like new. Book your appointment today at Gresham Collision Center, 150 Northeast Kelly Avenue in Gresham, Oregon, 97030.
Yo. Shout out to my man Omar and Carlos out there at Gresham Collisions. You know that they help your boy out there doing what they do. Shout out to GMP Podcast, Thorn City Syndicate Management. Once again, we got our man Chris up here, and we doing what we do. He left off at saying that he got the truck, credit is king. He was making what he needed to make for 10 months because he knew he was in debt on investing in himself. He took a chance on himself. Y'all got to remember that. Always bet on you. Finish me up, big boy.
Yeah, man. So he bought the truck, and we had a contract for, doing a lease purchase deal. And, yeah, man, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, but I put my trust in him, put my trust in myself. And the contract was, it was 55 months at $3,200 a month for this brand new truck. Mm-hmm. And, man, I'll tell you, like I said, I wasn't making any more than what I was making as a company driver, really, taking home for 10 months just because I owed so much with fuel and everything because he fronted me with everything.
Right on. He put you on.
He
That's
put
called
me
putting
on.
you on.
Yeah, man.
We know the hood lingo, man. He put you on. He put you in the
on,
game,
man.
and you stayed the course.
Yeah. So the way that ended up working out, 2.5 years go by. Everything's smooth, perfect, nothing to complain about. Man, I seen the truck market start going crazy. You know, a lot of people started wanting to buy these trucks for, you know, 150 easy for a couple-year-old truck. I brought it to his attention. I'm like, hey, man, you know, this wasn't really my truck. We didn't order this truck. We just bought it. This is somebody else's dream. I said, you know, can we try to sell this truck? And then because I had enough equity that would have been built up into it, and I'd like to order a new truck and get it in my name. You know, by now I got, you know, enough credit and everything, you know, let's try to get it in my name. So that's what we ended up doing. I posted the truck for sale. Sold it for $145,000.
Oh, do your dirt.
I only owed $76 on the truck.
Talk to me.
So there's a lot of equity built up in that thing, and paid it off. Got out of that lease purchase deal.
Ooh.
Ordered my new truck, man. So that's the truck I'm in right now.
Hey,
Yeah, man.
hey. I'm not mad at you, young king.
Man.
I'm not mad at you, young king. That's what we got to do, man. Get that man applause for that one, man. That man paid it down. It's a motto I always say. A lot of people don't know this. I always say if you stay down, you got to come up. But my other motto is respect the car game. If you respect the car gods, it will bless you. And in this, the car gods are still part of trucking. You respected it. You washed it. You treated it like it was your own. You took care of it day in, day out. You showed another guy that whether it was yours or not, you was going to treat it with respect.
Yeah.
He held that in so much high regard. He put you in the game because he knew you was a kid of character and that you was going to do something on your own. That speaks a lot in volumes about you, and it speaks a lot in volumes about there's still some people out there in this world that'll give us a leg up if we do what we're supposed to.
Yeah.
Remember, pay your dues, young fellas. You got to do what you're supposed to.
Yeah.
All right, man. So we done got into that. You got your own truck. Now we making these runs. What this bag look like? Come on now. Let's not talk. Let's not act like we not know what this bag is like, man. Are we making runs out of town now? We our own boss now. We doing contracts. Talk to me.
No, man. I didn't want to break what wasn't broken. You know, I don't want to fix what ain't broken.
Okay.
You know, he put me on so well. I was able to order the new truck from the factory.
Okay.
So I ordered it with all the specs that I could ever ask for.
Okay. So you got bells and whistles.
All of it, man.
Okay.
So
you like this guy that I was watching on YouTube, man. There's this dude that pull up. He got so much beat in his truck.
that's coming soon too.
This dude got so you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Man, his truck pull up. He pull up at truck spots, man. It's like a concert, man.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
He got bang in this truck.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Talk to me.
Yeah, man. I was able to order my new truck, and you know, I ordered it the wheelbase that I wanted. I ordered, you know, the suspension I wanted. I ordered the motor I wanted. You know, I got the biggest motor you could really order from the factory. It was a 600 Cummins.
Okay.
600 horsepower with 2050 torque. So it's
Cummins diesel,
pulls,
boy.
man. It pulls good.
Cummins Diesel. I
18
watch Diesel
speed.
Brothers. Diesel Brothers.
Yeah.
Shout out to Diesel Brothers.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
up on my game. I see it out in Utah.
Hey, like I said, man, it's crazy to think that any of this happened because, man, I don't come from nothing besides, hey, I remember my family telling me as a kid, like, you know, hey, when you make $20 an hour, you're set. Like, you know, you just go make $20 an hour somewhere and you're good.
Nah, but you said I need more than that.
I mean, that never
Worth
was
more than
attractive to
that.
me. And honestly, if it wasn't for race cars and cars, I probably would be, you know, okay with $20 an hour somewhere. And hey, ain't nothing wrong with people that make it $20 an hour.
But it all comes back to gears in the rear. It all
Yeah,
comes
man.
back to your love for speed.
Yeah, man.
Your need to seeing something be built
Yeah.
so you can go faster and faster, which made you choose a lane.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people don't understand that. When you get to thinking a little deeper, there's something about the gears in the rear that made you change your own lane.
100%.
And now you're in that lane with these trucks, man. And again, man, it's just super dope. it's super dope that we got a young black man in a truck. Shout out to all our truck drivers out there, our black-owned companies that's doing their thing. There's a lot of them out there. I know we got a couple that's local here in Oregon. I'm going to look y'all up, make sure y'all get your shout out, and we show mad love, looking to figure out how can we get young black boys and women into the trucking game.
It's life-changing. You know what I mean? If you thinking about it, it's life-changing for a lot of people, compared to what, working at a factory or working at wherever somebody might be, if you get in a truck, it's life-changing, man.
So you're on the road, man. Give us a little bit of trucking operations and some rules before we get into your last little spiel about your platforms and what we need to do from you, man. Tell us a little bit about some trucking rules and what they got going on.
Main rule is just, the hours of service. That's a big thing for everybody, because we don't all fit in a box, and there's a lot that comes up in a day in the life as a truck driver. So, the hours of service, if you don't know, we can only run so many hours in a day. We can only drive 11 hours and we can only technically work 14. So
gotcha.
As soon as you hit on duty, after 14 hours, that's it.
That's it.
And that might sound like a lot, but in a trucker's, day, especially if you're on the road, it's sometimes not enough.
Gotcha.
To get you out of because a lot of times you want to get yourself in a position of where you set yourself up for the next day and the next day and the next day.
Gotcha.
I don't deal with those things because I'm local, man. I haul steel every day, so I'm up and down the I-5 corridor and I'm home every night. So
I hear that. What's some other options a couple of options just to recap? You can be local, or you can make that long distance run and be out of state. If you're going out of state, of course, you make a little bit more money, but you got timelines and deadlines you got to meet. And then if you're local, you can just keep your local run and be home every night. And if you got a family, you can be home at night, but you can still make your bread and become a truck owner. You want to be the one that owns the truck, so can't nobody else tell you what to do and when to do because it's your truck. I heard that, man. How can we get a hold of you, man? Give a shout out to you. Put us on your platforms, man.
Man, I'm on Instagram at LOWE_Kameran, KAMERAN. Or you can check me out on YouTube at Trucking for Race Cars. So, man.
Trucking for race cars, man.
Yeah, man.
I mean, think about this, man. Let me tell you how we move on the fly. Wasn't that what Fast and Furious first episode was about? There was getting the truckers, and they was racing.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm just tying shit into where shit needs to be tied into.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They had the little Need for Speed joints. They had the little, we call them the little squatters.
Yeah.
They do their little side rice burners.
Yeah.
They do their little sideways, whatever. And they was hijacking the truckers, but the truckers wasn't having that shit. They was having 12 gauges and all that.
I got one of those too.
Okay.
Little rice burner.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. It taught me a lot. So, yeah.
Well, look, man, I'm going to be needing your help this summer, man. I'm going to need you to get me out there one of these weekends.
Yeah.
Get me in this gear shifting thing. Teach me your brother. We're going to maybe we'll do an episode where we come out and check out your truck, man, and take a look at the cockpit and see the gears and everything and give everybody a nice little look from the podcast perspective of gears in the rear of what it is to be in your own truck. And I also work in the school district, so those type of things go hand in hand.
Awesome.
I can get some young kids and some fellas who need some guidelines and trying to find some guidance to try to find them where they're trying to go, man, and maybe get them in the trucking and some stuff like that. So, again, man, I appreciate you coming and showing up, man. And just think, we're not done with you, though, because my audience ain't going to let you live down that you are putting a LS motor in a Fox body.
Yeah.
And like I said, some say the motor is the brain. Yeah. And the transmission is the heart, but some say the transmission is the brain and the motor's the heart.
Yeah.
What you choose?
I think the transmission is so important because if you don't got the right transmission and converter, it ain't going to do nothing.
So can you live without the brain or can you live without the heart?
Neither.
That's my man. That's my man Cam on Gears in the Rear. That's my man Cam. He said that shit so smooth. He said neither. I'm talking about that was smooth, man. I always said this. You can rev up your engine as loud as you want to, but if you can't slap that bitch and drive, it don't go nowhere.
Right. Okay. I like that.
Talk to me. Talk to me. That's what we do, man. Again, another shout out to GMP Podcast. You heard my man on all his social media platforms. We went live today on his live on YouTube. Check me out on Gears in the Rear. Follow at me. Get at me on all platforms. We'll let you know when this drop and come out. This is not our last time with Cam. We got 2 more episodes with him. Every guest going to get 3 episodes where we just go into different stuff. And again, he's going to have to show us this LS motor and the Fox body, because my Fox body people got something to say about that. I got some Fox body guys who might want to see.
They might agree with me, man.
Ooh. Oh, my boy Will Bradley, though. So there's 2 Wills we know. There's a William Rice and there's a Will Bradley. My boy Will Bradley got this 79 Malibu that you might
I like Malibus, man.
He got a 79 Malibu that's real tough. He said if we get to the red light, we even. Yeah. So we're going to have to see what's going on. Once again, man, it's your boy Mel P. We wrapping up another episode, man. Shout out to my man Just Stone and the crew. Appreciate you. Much love.
Thank you for having me on, man.
Man, much love, man. We're going to have you back, bro.